Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Keisha and today I want to show you guys how I created this amazing purple look. I recently went on ColourPop.com during an amazing sale and I bought a whole haul worth of products, including products I've never used before, palettes I've never seen, some that are new, some that are not so new, maybe just new to me. And today, this look was inspired by the color purple in the It's My Pleasure palette. I thought this would be really fun to see if I could recreate a look using just one palette and see what I come up with. Let's jump right into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to start with primer. I'm going to use the Fenty primer. Just rub it in my hands like lotion. I press it into my skin, make sure I get it well distributed everywhere, including my lids. All right, now that we have that on, I'm actually going to grab some concealers first. And I'm going to pick up the ColourPop concealer in the shade 54 Deep Dark. I'm going to actually apply this in the areas where I need the correction. And then if you have any darkening or hyperpigmentation around your mouth, I would use this shade for that as well. I use another ColourPop shade. I believe it's 50. And I use that one also to help me correcting around my mouth. So I'm going to grab my beauty sponge. This one's from AOA Studios. I love their sponges. I think they're really soft. They do the job and they only cost $1. Like, what's better than that? So now we've layered on a layer of coverage, sort of correcting the lower half of my face where I have hyperpigmentation. The next thing I want to do is go ahead and grab my foundation. Today I'm going to be using the ColourPop No Filter foundation in the shade Deep Dark 195. And I'm going to pick this shade up on my ColourPop F15, which is a buffing foundation brush, which is my favorite way to apply foundation. Just apply it to the back of my hand, dip the brush in, and then just add splotches on my face. Just add a little product here and there, and then blending it out. Okay, now that our foundation is on, we're going to move into concealing. So my first concealer that I pick up is the Deep Dark 54, which is the same that I use to correct. And I use this one first because I feel like it has a little bit of a pink, warmer undertone than my natural one. And it helps me to have a nice smooth transition from my highlighting color that I'm going to use. So the next one is going to be the Dark 48 in the ColourPop concealer. And I'm just going to put that directly underneath my eye. Just some short, quick swipes. Then with what's left on the applicator, I'm going to just draw a line down my nose, my Cupid's bow right up in here on my forehead. I have a very round face, so I kind of go up and not so much out. I like to let my concealer dry down around my under eye area. So I'm just go ahead and grab my beauty sponge. I just grab the butt end of it and I start to blend out the thinner. So that's my chin, my Cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, and my brow. I blend those out first. I don't like them to be overly brightened in comparison to the rest of my face. Like, I want my under eye to look bright and awakened and conceal any discoloration from dark under eye circles that, you know, we all can get that every once in a while if we don't get enough sleep. Now we're going to move on to contouring. I'm going to pick up the Fenty Beauty Contour Matchstick in the shade Espresso. They look like this. They're so cute. And I'm going to put a short, quick dash on both sides. And then I'm going to put a few dabbles right up there on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. This is one of my favorite colors to contour with because it's cool tone, but it's also a little bit on the warmer side. So I feel more like I'm bronzing my skin, not just contouring. And my way of contouring is really simple. I just lift up because I feel like that makes your cheekbones look more lifted and gives you that chiseled look at the same time. So I just do an upward motion because I'm going to conceal. I'm going to bring that concealer out anyway. So I'm not too bothered by the idea of maybe like bringing it too high up because my concealer will correct that. Very nice. Okay. So we're done with that part. I've allowed my concealer on my under eye concealer to dry down. So now I'm going to grab my beauty sponge. This one, like I said, is from AOA Studios. And I just start dabbing. And I really just press that into the skin and along the side of my nose. And then I take whatever's left on my sponge and literally just bring that up and out to lift the eye, as well as applying some to my actual lid. I'm gonna go back in with my concealer, the 48, so I can conceal my lids. I have hyperpigmentation on my lids, basically meaning that my lid is darker at my lash line than it is at my brow bone. And so to give myself a nice even slate so the color reads the same from my lid to my brow bone, I just like to use my concealer. If I'm using a lighter color, then I will use my lighter concealer. But if I'm going for a deeper colors, browns, blacks, going for a really nice smoky look, then I will just use my darker concealer that's more to my natural skin tone, which is the 54. And then whatever's left on my sponge, I just bring it around my nose onto my upper lip area. I sort of create this space, kind of like a V situation. So this looks bright and lifted. Now I'm going to pick up my setting powders. I'm going to be using 2 setting powders today, which is going to be both from ColourPop, actually. This one is the Banana, which is a pretty yellow color. And I'm also going to be using the Translucent Deep, which is a really nice warm brown shade. So I'm going to start with the Banana powder, the Banana shade. Put some in the cap. I don't use a lot. You don't have to use a lot of setting powder. Just need a little bit, because what I'm about to do is take a flat paddle brush. This is a paddle foundation brush. I don't use this for foundation. I find that these brushes can leave streaks. And so I use it for pressing powder right into my under eye area. And this isn't for, this is just for setting. This is not for baking. This is just a really light layer that gets the product where I need it. I love this because it's a tapered, and so it's like I'm using a pencil. I just press it in and then lightly pull that down. Very, very lightly. And then whatever's left on the brush, I just tap it onto my brows, up to my brow. So from my lid to the brow, I'm just pressing that on to sort of set my concealer on my lid. Then, because this is not being used for baking, this is literally just to set my under eye, I'll just take my handy Buki, and this one is from e.l.f. He is so cute and he's uber, uber fluffy. I just sweep him back and forward under my under eye to remove any excess powder. So now my under eye is set. I'm going to pick up the ColourPop Translucent Deep, tap a little bit into my lid. This is a very warm color. I think he is gorgeous. He has this warm brown shade. Beautiful fluffy face powder brush. This one's from, it's called Beauty Accents Total Face Brush. I love using this brush. I just pick up my powder, I stamp it on my face, and then I buff it in. Down my neck. Make sure we get everybody in the party. Okay. Then just do a double check. Make sure we didn't miss anybody. So we're gonna put him away. I'm gonna go back to my yellow setting powder, and now I'm gonna put a shield down. I call it a shield because sometimes you'll have moments where, especially when you're using a new palette or a new formula from a company, you'll have fallout, and next thing you know, all this work that you did down here to set this and get it looking all bright and can be pink, purple, orange, or yellow. So using a little bit of setting powder on another beauty sponge. I have 2 sponges that I use. The pink one I use for the products that are wet, and I use the purple one for dry products and powders. And I just press that oh so gently underneath my eye. And this will bake and this will set my under eye. Then, with whatever's left in the cap, I'll just draw a line down the bridge of my nose to sort of set my nose, set my lip, and then I'm gonna also put that right in the center of my forehead because I still want to use this yellow sort of as like a brightening powder. So wherever I put concealer to brighten, I also use the yellow banana powder to set it. So today I'm going to feature a palette that I got in a haul recently. This is the It's My Pleasure palette from ColourPop. I think this is really pretty. I saw this on the website. I was like, you know what? I would love to have a fuchsia, pink, purpley vibe in one palette. Why not? So there she is. She is gorgeous. Look at that. Ooh, honey. What's better than that? So now let's kick it up a notch and get bold, okay? So I'm gonna start with a large fluffy brush. I'm gonna pick up my AOA Studios E102 brush. He's a really nice, he's almost like a fat tipped pencil brush. Very fluffy, very dense. So I'm gonna start with him first. And the first shade I wanna pick up today, let's go with Kitten Fish, which is this top color here. He's sort of like a lavender lilac-y color. I'm gonna say lilac. He's a really soft pink lilac shade. And I'm gonna take this color and I'm gonna start at my crease and then blend this up towards my brow. And we're gonna use this as a transition color. We're gonna go maybe in a smoky way. Let's see how we feel. So we're just gonna blend that in. I always blend it first, like lay down the foundation of this product. And then once I have it on, I do a stamping motion to like build it up. Can you see that? So now that we have that on, I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush, a fluffy tapered brush like this. This is the Morphe M513, and I'm gonna use that and pick up the color Fan Fiction, which is this bottom pinky shade here. I'm gonna load up my brush. I always load up the brush because I feel like I can stamp the product where I want it and then I can buff it out to give me that smooth transition. So I'm just gonna stamp him here. And I think whenever you take a more pink shade and you put it on something like lilac or a light purple, you get more of like a fuchsia vibe. Ain't he gorgeous? Oh, that's working out beautifully. Now, I recently went to ColourPop.com and did a huge haul. They had this huge sale. I think it was like 20% off the website or 30% off the entire website. And ColourPop is already an inexpensive website. They give you really great products, high quality at an inexpensive price that's pocket friendly. Now, all the products that I'm using, I purchased myself. No sponsorships, honey, for the weak and the small. I'm a small individual who's just enthusiastic about makeup. Speaking of my enthusiasm, let's tiptoe into why I decided to start my channel. So back around 2014, maybe, I really started to dive into makeup. And I went beyond my usual. I've been wearing makeup since I was in high school, but I really lived in a bold space when it came to color. I wore bright highlighter shades. I'm talking neons, orange, like lime green, tangerine orange, really bright colors. And then at some point in my life, I think I'm being more mature by dying back on the color a little bit. And so I stuck in a really safe place of neutrals. Browns, taupes, tans, cream shades, and then I would throw on for a little pizzazz, you know, like a gold shimmery highlight shade right there, and you're ready to go. And then just put a little line on it and call it a day. Just line my lash line and go. And then something just happened where I was like, you know what? I want to live bold and in color. And the only way to do that is to break free of wearing all these neutrals. Don't get me wrong, I still rock a good neutral. But I didn't want to feel afraid to rock color too. So I started jumping back in, started hitting up Sephora and Ulta and just really trying to discover color again. And by that time, makeup had started to change. This was about 2014. You started to notice a change in the application of product. You also noticed something that I was super excited about. Being a chocolate girl, I was super excited when I discovered that companies were starting to create colors that were more chocolate girl friendly. When I first started makeup, everything made me look like a Oompa Loompa. I look like a chocolate Oompa Loompa. I read orange all day. Like when you applied it, it didn't look that bad, but as it like dried down and then your natural oil started to eat through the product, you look like an Oompa Loompa. So by the time about 2014, 2015, you started to see an emergence of product that was more chocolate girl friendly. I'm not at the darkest of the spectrum, but I wear products that are at the darkest of the company spectrum. And so I really wanted to see what was out there. I had a lot of friends who were telling me, hey, you should jump back into it. You're very artistic. You love to express yourself in color. Get back into it. See what you like. So that's what I did. In about 2015, I started getting comments from my new friends and my old friends like, hey, I really love what you're doing. I wish that I could see what you were doing and so I could help recreate those look at home. You should start a YouTube channel. And I was like, I have 101 things going on in my life. I don't know if I have time to sit down and do a tutorial, but if you want to come to my house, I can show you what I'm using, show you how I use those products, what tools I'm using, and help you do it. And my friends were just adamant, you need to start a channel. So I finally had a eureka moment when I sat down in my vanity space and realized I have a lot of makeup. I have a lot of makeup. I've acquired a lot of foundations, concealers, highlighters, everything from all over the world when it comes to products. I go to every makeup store. I check out products when I go to the beauty supply store. It doesn't matter. If I see makeup, I'm going to stop and I'm going to check it out. So I finally decided, you know what? I want to take the skills that I've learned and throw that out there and show people that you can create really pretty looks that don't have to be expensive to create a look. It doesn't have to cost you hundreds of dollars of investing into tools and products, and you can create really cool looks for any occasion. And I want to bring that to this platform by saying you can get a look for work. I can show you looks to go to school. I can show you a look when you want to be amazing and make everybody say, who is she? You want all of that. So I want to show you guys all the skills that I've learned and using all the products that I've acquired. So while babbling, I took a AOA Studios E130 brush, and I picked up this color here, which is Sleeper. And I'm going to put this in my outermost corner of my eye, right in there. But yeah, I really wanted to share with everyone all the things that I've learned over the past few years since I dove back into color, the techniques and skills that I've learned from watching some of my favorite artists. And I really did get into makeup because I ran into some amazing makeup artists. And they showed me, number one, I don't have to be afraid to play with color. I was always hesitant about jumping into certain colors. I'm like, that might not be flattering for my skin tone. And so I didn't want to feel that way. And so I started talking to makeup artists and saying, hey, I really would like to see what purple looks like on me, or blue, or oranges and reds, not just neutrals. Because I knew that I could make neutrals work for me, but I didn't really know about color. So that was why I decided to just throw caution to the wind, start talking to makeup artists. And then I met this amazing makeup artist one day, and he showed me, baby, you can wear any color. You got the skin tone for it and you have the face for it. Do it. And he showed me how to use purple and green and blue. And I was in love. And from that day, your girl was at the makeup counter. And here you go. I'm going to go back and pick up my M513 brush. This is the same one that I picked up the shade Kitten Fish. No, I picked up Fan Fiction with this brush. And I'm going to just go over that shade Sleeper. And this, for me, really just gives you that more blended gradient look. So let's just get in there and show you. Like, just slowly find where the two shades meet and just sort of go over it. So from the outermost corner to about halfway in, I'm just going to build it up, build it up, build it up. Just build it up, honey, because I want this section to really create a V. Just really bring in that depth. right back in there. I have hooded eyes. My lid is hooded, so I always pause and look straight ahead into a mirror and see, hey, can you see the difference between my lid and that crease color that I can create it? If I'm feeling like I need to go in with some more, then I go back in. So I'm going to pick up the E130 brush because I feel like I need to bring this shade up a little more. And I'm going to go where my orbital bone is and just go a little bit higher. So I'm just literally going to skate on my orbital bone to make sure that I'm bringing that crease color up. Like that. So looking straight ahead, you can still see that. And then go back in my pencil brush, the E132 brush, and I'm just going to focus it in on the outer V. I really want this area to be bold, and so I'm just going to tap my eye, just really get that product on there. Pull it in along the lash, just like that. So just pull it in along your lash, and then just dust it. Ooh, she's getting some definition. We're getting depth back in that eye. Isn't that looking nice? Ooh. All right, so now that we've gotten sleeper on, which for those of you who, I don't know if I showed or not, but this is the sleeper shade right here. It's this really pretty like burgundy color. So now we're gonna jump in to my next move. I think we're gonna start with Earth Shine. It's this beautiful pink shade here in the center, and I'm gonna put that in the inner corner. So the inner corner of my eye, we're going to start with the lightest shade. I'm going to grab a small flat brush. This is my AOA Studios E122 brush. This is the shape of that brush. I love the fact that it's like a small, flat, controlled brush. For me, putting that in my inner corner is the easiest thing because I'm not working with a large brush. So an example of a larger flat brush, you're looking like this. You have this brush versus this brush. The size. So I use the bigger flat brush when I'm on the outer edge of my corner, and I use the lighter flat brush when I'm on the inner corner. So let's pick up Earth Shine. Load that brush up just like that. You just want to load it up because we're going to stamp this into place. Just do a little press into motion. And because I have hooded eyes, I always stop and look into the mirror to make sure that I have the product where I need it to be, because the last thing I want is to have this weird cutoff between the shimmer and the matte shades. I love a good palette that has an amazing color story where like everything just makes sense. You can use one palette, make a really cool cohesive look. Some palettes can be all over the place. I've purchased my fair share of palettes, and sometimes it's like, how do you make one look from this? I mean, it doesn't give you a color story. I'm a huge fan of buying palettes that only have like one color-based situation. And we're creating a cut crease without using any concealer. I rarely do that technique of cutting my crease with concealer and then applying on top. For me, if I use a really good shadow, I don't have to do that. It'll just sit right on top. It'll look like I cut my crease. But if you want the color to be really popping, you might need to do so. You might need to use some type of product that will allow this color to show up better, be more pigmented. Especially with shimmers. Sometimes you might need to use a little bit of setting spray on your brush. Just apply the product to the brush and then spray with setting spray. And there you go. So we have a nice bright first shade. I'm going to just wipe off my brush. And I think I'm going to pick up so many decisions. Let's pick up Do or Dough, which is the center shade here. And he's going to go right in the center. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to load him up. And then I'm going to apply it right in the center. And I'm going to bounce between my lash, go over the first crease, the first color, which was Earth Shine. And Do or Dough, I'm just going to put it in the center So I can basically divide my eye in half and just put this right there square smack dab in the center. Ooh, I totally forgot about this shade. This is Mr. Sandman, this one right here. He has like this little silvery multi-chrome situation, dual action moment. So I'm gonna pick him up and swipe it and see what it looks like. Oh, he's pretty. Nice little mother of pearl situation. Let's stick him in the inner corner. Let's see if he gives me a better end result. I'm just gonna use the same brush I used a second ago. And tap him on. Tap him on top, tap him on top. Okay, that added a little bit of shimmer that we might have needed. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. A nice little glistening moment. And he reads more on the purpley side. Even though in the pan he doesn't look as purple, I think a lot of these colors are probably a little on the dual chrome side, so they're reading 2 shades at once, but that is pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now for my last shade. What do I want to do? I'm bouncing between 2 different shades right now. I'm looking at Chicklet and I'm looking at Bare Minimum. So this is Chicklet. This is this deeper purple color. And then Bare Minimal is this more pinky fuchsia color. So I don't know which one of these I want to pick up. Let's swatch it. Oh, he's beautiful. Oh, they're both really pretty. This is the Chicklet here. So that one's Chicklet. And then this one's Bare Minimal. I think I'm gonna go with Chicklet. I'm going with the purple. So I'm gonna take my large flat brush, which is the E113 brush. I'm gonna load him up. And I'm gonna pounce it right here. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, he's gonna give me a nice feed between this burgundy shade, which is Sleeper, and a plummy shade. I'm gonna bring that little bit in here. I'm actually, yeah, I'm not loving this blend very well, but we're gonna keep working at it. That's the #1 key to coming up with a really cool look. It's just being persistent. Just don't give up. Don't give up, because sometimes it's like a single swipe away from greatness. Now the last thing I'm going to do is define my crease color by going back in my little pencil brush. This is the E132. Go back into Color Sleeper and then just bring him right on in there. Oh yeah, baby. So you want to go to the outer corner here, tap that on, and then blend it in. Blend him up, baby. Let's pick up a smudger brush. This was a Morphe under eye smudger brush. I forgot what the number is because I think it rubbed off. It happens. So we're gonna go into Fan Fiction. I think that's where I wanna go with this look today. And we're gonna use this as my under eye shade, my lower lash shading shade. Yes, honey. Yeah, I like that. Now I normally do a really smoked out under eye, lower lash line situation, but today I want to keep it bright. Beautiful. And I'm going to stop messing with this before I go too far and really throw myself into the ditches. So we're going to apply my inner highlight shade. I'm going to pick up the shade Earth Shine. It didn't work amazingly before, but I think this shade will look really cool on the inner corner. As my inner corner highlight. Oh yeah, that was a good choice. Can you see that? Oh, he's shining now. He is shining now. This might be my go-to color whenever I do a purpley or pink look. Oh, he's shining. Can y'all see that shine? Can you see that inner corner moment? Now we're gonna take my handy dandy bookie. This one I got from Elf. He's a short, very fluffy, full brush. Love him. And I'm going to use him to dust away the excess powder under my eye, as well as any fallout that I might have experienced. Oh, look at that. That little bit of powder definitely can save you from having all this purple situation going on right here. And it helps you keep that line really nice. Look how that line. All right, so now we're into the finishing touches mode. We're gonna finish this look with a few steps. So the first finishing move is gonna be my Fenty Beauty bronzer. Boom, isn't that beautiful? Fenty bronzer, I use the shade Coconati. And I'm gonna pick up an AOA Studios F14 brush. It's a tapered angle brush. He's fluffy too. And we're just gonna bring some warmth back into my face. I use my bronzer to give me that sun-kissed look. I live in Texas, it's always hot. I mean, my winters are short and the heat is long. It's not just summer, it's just warm all the time here. So looking sun-kissed is not that hard. But when you apply foundation, you sort of lose that warmth. And so bringing in a bronzer or a warmer toned concealer can definitely help you. And I always use it on my nose too. Wherever I contour, I tend to put bronzer because I want it to look bronzed. I don't want to look sunken. I mean, I have a full face, so why try to hide it? Just embrace it. And then sometimes I'll bring it down my jawline. Bring it on down. There's a Michael Jackson song from The Wiz that just popped in my head. If you know that song, comment below. You know what? I'm going to grab this one. This one sounds good today. I'm going to be going into my Saharian Blush Volume 2. It looks like this. It's from Juvia's Place. There she is, and I'm going to take this center shade right there. He is a gorgeous shade. He looks like that. Can you guys see him? Can you see him? My contrast might be a little high. My lights are high, so you might not be able to see it very well. But it's called Neo. Now, Juvia's Place is another website that I frequent because they have really highly pigmented, beautiful products. They're not gonna break my bank. So I always stop by there to see what they have new. And this blush palette just spoke to me. The next question. What kind of highlighter do I want to use? I'm gonna pick one of my favorite highlighters. I don't wear him often because he's one of my favorite. He's very pigmented. He don't play games. This one is Lancome Glow Subtle in the shade Gold Light 01. It's a cream highlighter and it is beautiful. Look how that light hits it. He is like a watchtower. You can't get any better than him. So what I like to do, ooh, he's on my fingers. He's so pretty. What I want to do is take my fingers, I just lightly press it into the product. Look how pigmented that is. Ooh la la. And I literally just take my fingers, find my cheekbone, my cheekbone, and just lightly, oh yeah, baby. Put him right where he needs to be. Oh, can you see that? Oh, he is beaming. The first time my husband saw this shadow, he was like, when he saw this product, he was like, wow, you look like you have gold on your face. Dripping. And then whatever's left, I go up to my forehead and right above my brow. Ooh, he beaming. I'm gonna take my beauty blender, my beauty sponge. I'm just gonna tap him in a little bit so he's not as vibrant. Like, I don't want him to like take over the show. I don't want the highlighter to be the star. But just by taking my beauty sponge, it brought it down. It toned him down a few notches. So that's what I wanted. So now we're done with that. I'm actually going to pick up another Juvia's Place palette. It has this pink shade, this pink highlighter shade in here. And this one is the Saharan Blush Volume 1 palette. And he has this really beautiful pink shade right here. And that's like a highlighter shade. I'm going to use him to bring this purple and pink to life. But first, I'm going to spray my face. I always spray before I add a powder highlighter because I feel like it sticks better. Just going to take my Morphe Continuous Mist and I'm going to spray. Get him on. I'm going to take my purple sponge, which is my dry sponge, my powdering sponge. I'm going to press the product in, especially in the areas where I'm most oily, which would be my T-zone. And I always press along my jawline. My jawbone, actually, just this section here, right beneath the contour. Ooh. And while my skin is still a little damp from the mist, I'm going to pick up my Sephora. This is the Pro Fan Even Till 65. I'm going to swirl him back and forward into the shade Sola, which is this pink shade. And I'm going to lightly put him on top. Oh, oh, can you see her? Oh, honey, don't lose me. Don't get lost in my highlighter. Don't get lost in my highlight. So now we have on my highlighter, it's time to finish this look with the lip pucker up. I'm going to pick up my lippy pencil. This one's from ColourPop. He's a beautiful, beautiful purple color. This is in the shade Flattered. This is one of the ones that I just picked up. And he's a pretty like wine pinky red tone. Love it. I'm going to line my lips with this. Oh, ooh, that's pretty. Now, when it comes to lips, I buy lip product from everywhere. Everywhere. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm trying to figure out what color I want to use. I think I know where I'm going to go with this. Let's see. I was on Instagram and I saw this advertising for this company. This is MFMG, Makeup for Melanin Girls. I saw their lip colors and they were so vibrant on the most beautiful chocolate women. I said, I have to pick that up. I have to get it. So I did. I got the shade 15 and then I forgot what shade number this is, but this is more like a fuchsia color and this is more like a red wine, deep plum purple. And I love playing with these two together. I'll take the deeper shade and put it on the outer lip. Oh, he's so deep. Now I'm going to go with the lighter fuchsia color. I'm going to put him right in the center. But this is the finished look with the matte lip. Ain't it cute? But we're going to end this tutorial by slapping on some gloss. I'm actually going to throw on the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the color Fenty Glow. This shade is beautiful. It smells absolutely amazing. It reminds me of candy or something from being a kid. And I just slather him on. Look at that. I feel amazing. All right. So this look is officially done. Let's zoom in a little bit. So there is that highlight. Oh, bring me to the highlight. And there is the eye look. And the lips. Alrighty, guys. That is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you enjoyed my video today and you would like to see more of this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want your friends to see it, maybe you know somebody who wants to recreate a really pretty purple look, share my video. And if you want to be notified of my next upload, please hit the little bell button and you'll be notified when your girl gets back on your screen. Until the next time, guys, live bold, live in color, peace and love. Bye.